All right, boys. Well, good good pod. Um, like always, if that's all we got, then dicks out for Harambe, Harambe for president, R.I.P. Harambe, and you know, uh, we we love Harambe. Psych, we do, but this is not the end of the pod. This is the beginning. Got your
I think you got him.
asses.
I think
Think,
that's gonna get him.
do you think that got him?
I think it will. Yeah.
All right, all right. So we are actually just starting the pod, and I'm so happy. You guys can't hear this, but Winnie is going crazy right now. This is an epic start to piss these guys off. I'm loving it. Um, this is actually the loudest I think I've heard her during the pod. Anyway,
I can actually hear her through your mic now.
you can. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I didn't mic check Brendan beforehand. Brendan, go ahead and say something. We're doing this live.
What's
Fuck
going
it.
on,
We'll do it
everybody?
live.
And let's introduce you actually. Brendan, back on for the second time this season. What it do? How's it going?
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here too, so that I can berate you with my anger for the shit that you pulled last week. But we'll get to that. So, do you want to know? Man, we're off to such a hot start. Do you want to know what's gonna make all these league clowns also so mad? Is that I don't even have the rankings done yet. The rankings are done, but I don't even have the graphic done, and we're gonna read the rankings live. So how does that sound?
Hey, that works.
All right. Well, listen. Oh, actually, hey, no. I cannot be inconsiderate. Jordan, did you get your introduction moment, co-host?
I didn't, but they know they heard me. I'm here.
No, go ahead. Say it. Say what you got. Give us an intro, something.
Hey guys, it's me. You know me. It's me. How's it going?
Yeah, it's you, Mr. 2-10, 2-11, 2-11.
Probably 2-12 after this week. Oh, I I've considered retiring from the pod multiple times because who am I to speak on anything? I
Well,
am 2-11. About to be no, I think I'll beat Va this week. I'm about to be 3-11.
hold on. Who am I to speak on anything? This is most likely about to be my second straight year in the losers bracket.
Yeah, that's that's tough.
Why is it that the two of us that seem to be the two that have the time to do it are just getting fucking punished? Like 2 straight years in the bracket. I think this is this is our third year. I love that we have a guest that's working the effects. I appreciate that. All these other lazy guests we have never do that shit ever. Yeah, I mean like what I don't know, I guess. Well,
Yeah, it is what it is.
yeah, well,
I don't think it. Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
think
I
I
mean,
just
I wouldn't
drafted a
associate the pod with my losing
squad.
record because we've been doing it what 3 years now. This is our third year doing it together.
Something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it
I'll
was
tell you, I
you.
haven't gotten better since doing the pod.
No, I don't know if it's year 3 or year 4 because it's
I
year
don't
3
think
or
it's that
4.
many.
It has to be at minimum 3 because what last year was not our first year doing it together.
Well, hey, congratulations, 3 years.
I mean, we've been doing it together for a lot of years, but in terms of the
Well, yeah,
pod, yeah, like just a couple of years. So, um, let's get to these rankings. I'm gonna list them off from first to actually, do you want me to go bottom up or top bottom?
just go 1 to 10.
Okay, 1 to 10. Yeah,
Can we get a drum roll?
can we?
I don't have my soundboard pulled up. Hold on. We definitely can. If I can figure out how to do it on the
I was
phone.
really banking on Brendan on this. He set a standard and
Yeah, it's true. I kind of do blame him at this point. I don't know if there's a way to do it on my phone.
that's the best I can get is that sarcastic drum, that joke drum. All right, here we go. Coming in, tied for first place on the power rankings.
And I'm gonna win the league.
Nope. That was not me. Nope. Teddy Boy and Matthew Ganthier.
Wow.
Tied for first. Okay. Coming in third place in the power rankings,
Come on, come on.
Dad.
Eh.
Really, really. It's listen, it's a balance of, I have a feeling, not to go too deep into this yet, but I have a feeling that like once everything is truly set after this week, we can start doing, like, if you're in the losers bracket, you should not be ranked higher than anyone in the winners bracket. I would, but like nothing's technically locked except for a couple. There's still like some mess in the middle, so I think we got to hold off that kind of strategy until then. For now, Dad, you sit at 3 because I mean you literally
Well,
have
hold
an
on though,
MVP on your
because
team.
I disagree with that.
You do?
Um,
I thought you were the
yeah.
whole record-based guy this whole time. I'm like agreeing with you.
No, I. What do you mean?
You're the
If you
guy
look at
that
my
like
ranking,
record has to play
mine's
a
not
role.
strictly. Record has to play a role when it's someone like Cole that I have ranked at a spot that you didn't agree with,
Right.
because he's getting the luck. Like he's getting the luck to win the games. But just because, like, say, Dad, I don't think he will, but if he ends up in the losers bracket, I still think his team overall will be better than some of the teams in the winners bracket.
Well, okay, so then you're going off the rosters more than the records.
Listen, there's a lot of things that go into it. Okay, there's a lot of things.
All right, well then, hey,
I'm
we
just saying.
won't play it that
I'm
way.
just saying I'm not subscribing completely to the idea that teams in the losers bracket have to be ranked lower.
Well, I'm subscribing to your OF if you give it to me.
I'll send it over later. Got you.
All right, sweet.
It's steep though. It's fucking steep. Just to let you know.
No, I'm ready for it. Yes,
All right.
yes. All right, so Dad, you're 3. Coming in tied for 4th, Tucker Nugent and Wardle. Tied for 6th. 3 ties in these rankings. You have Va and you have, oh wow, this is so sweet, me.
You definitely did that to yourself, then, pal. That was a self suck.
I mean, you didn't have me that low. You had me at 8 out of 10, and I had me at 6. So
Yeah, so self suck.
yeah, I mean, I still put myself in the bottom half. Oh no, I put myself at 5. Put myself above Va. Yep. Self suck a little bit. Yep, there we go. All right, boosted myself to tied for 6th. Coming in 8th place, Skidly Dillios, this Watson / Loesch.
Whose rankings were taken into account here?
I ranked
three of
Loesch.
them?
I ranked Loesch. No, Brennan was not able to get his rankings to me. I was not going to call him out on the pod, but now you're asking questions. So
Well, because I got him at 5. How is he all the way down at the bottom? Because at this point,
I ranked him 10th.
okay.
His team's the worst in the league. His roster's the worst in the league. He got lucky
Fair.
to get in. He got lucky to get in. He hasn't put up more than 100 something points, like low hundreds in a month. His team's not good. It had like a couple good weeks. He got mainly luck in Harambe's grace to get to 8 wins, and now he just keeps. Now it's apparent because once he got locked in, all he's done is lose. So he clearly had Harambe on his side, and that's fine, and you can put that into your rankings and all. But his roster sucks. He's 10th.
Oh, I agree. If he had a decent roster, he'd be top of the league for me.
Yeah, I mean, I have him at 10th because you know me, I go mainly on the roster. And his roster is so bad that I'm not even just going to put anything else into it for him. I gave him love. Listen, I gave him love at one point, and I still respect the moves he made part of the way through. You know, not taken away from that beforehand. But at this point, now I'm just annoyed because I know there's 3 or 4 rosters that are in the losers bracket right now that could compete more than him. I'm mad he does not have a shot to have a third loss on the record, and all that stuff just makes me mad. He had his little hot streak. He did his part to make it that way, but his roster cooled down. It sucks, and so does he. So 10th.
He does suck.
Winnie. Okay, so coming in at 9th place. Oh, the suspense is insane. JB. Bizzle Bizzle. Chung fuck. Did not chung fuck me, but that worries me because I feel like if we end up in the mud together, I'm due a chung fuck. I don't know what round that would be, so I'm slightly nervous. And then finally, in 10th place, last but not least, you all know him, you all love him. J Dry, crying in Babylon. All right, so I know Jordan and I kind of shared our thoughts as the rankings were going on. Brendan, what's your overall take from that? I'll read it off one more time. Tied for first, Matt, Ted, Dad, third. Tied for fourth, Tuck, Wardle. Tied for sixth, Va, me. Eighth, Loesch. 9, JB. 10, Jordan. Thoughts?
I am interested in looking at Cole's record here because I did think, that everyone was kind of ragging on him, but it is surprising the kind of minimum amount of points that he's scoring to get him to 8 wins. It kind of frustrates me because everyone seems to go off against me.
Oh, dude, I feel the same way. I feel the same fucking
You
way.
and Jordan have had
But
similar seasons, but your team has just been like good enough to get you more wins than Jordan's has been.
yeah, it's super frustrating. Yeah, I saw Jordan, you had the most points against you. I think I'm the third most points against. I have the second most points for in the league though. Like my record does not make sense on paper. But
No, it doesn't. Yeah, because my points
no, I
for.
think Cole is going to be an early exit.
I think so too. I think so too. I don't think he wins his first matchup. But we'll see.
Any other
We will
thoughts,
see.
Brennan?
No, I mean, I think this is an exciting week. It's stressful, but it's exciting to see how it's all going to fall out in the last week, and may Harambe's will be done.
Ain't that the
Agreed, brother.
truth? Ain't that
Agreed.
the truth?
I'm just praying his will ain't to make me fucking take an SAT.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I do not want that on my record. I don't. Ugh. I mean, look, there's plenty. This is what I'll say. There's plenty of respectable people in our league that have a win and have a loss. You know what I mean? Ted, JB. Matt doesn't have that win yet, but he's been competitive, and when he's been in the league. Uh, Brendan, you've always been competitive. You've never been a threat to lose it, but but you always seem like to be like you haven't played in the championship game, have you? Once against Kevin, right?
Lost in the championship. But then since then, I think last year was my first year in the losers bracket, but the other years I would, just kind of fiddle out in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I would. So then I guess that leaves I mean, there's because Wardle's never been in the losers bracket, but I would say JB and Ted are very respectable league players, and they both won and lost. Oh, and Va too, right? Va's won and lost.
Has Vol won?
Yeah, he beat you.
I forget about that.
Yeah, I know. You what you
In
do is you block it out.
2022.
Is what you do.
Yeah, because that was traumatic for me.
So And it was Josh who did it to you too, Josh Allen.
It was.
Um,
It was.
but yeah, so like all respectable players, but if you can avoid a league L on your name, like you avoid the league L on your name. Like I don't want a league L. I really don't. I, I don't want my name carved in that deucing. I know you feel the same way, Jordan. Um, I just don't want. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, cause listen,
I agree 100%.
Tim, back when he played in the league, said that there were 3 people who knew ball in the whole league. You,
Yep.
me, and him. You have
Yeah.
what? 3 championship appearances and 2 wins. I
Who?
have,
Me? I have
yeah,
4.
4.
Four.
Who'd you play against? Ted the other year?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have 4 championship appearances and 2 wins. I have 3 championship appearances and 1 win. Neither of us have lost. And you have like Tim, obviously, who is a goat in our league. Come on, let's be real. He helped us by quitting. Um, so like yeah, I mean, I feel like, and this, like, don't take this sarcastically. This would be incredibly painful. I feel like if either of us lose the league, we lose that title that Tim gave us.
That's
Like you can't say you're a Tim level ball knower and lose the league.
very true. Yeah, because
So
Tim never lost the league.
Tim never lost the league and he never will.
Yeah.
And imagine the
That's,
amount of wins
that's a
he'd have by
great
now if
point.
he stayed.
What's that?
Imagine the amount of wins he'd have by now if he stayed.
Oh, dude, he'd still be on a win streak.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much where I sit with that. Um, yeah. So anyway, I don't want a league L on my name, and I'm really stressed. Like 3 of the past 5 years I've been in the losers bracket. Well, it will be 3 if I end up in the losers bracket this go around. 3 of the last 5, and both the years I've been in it,
When?
I'll get to that later. Both the years I've been in it, I have been in the losers game, like the last place game, and I don't want it. I do not want it. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's go to our games. Let's go to our games and let's get the league hearing who they want to hear right now. They want to hear Brendan. We haven't heard Brendan in a little while on the pod, and that's who they want talking. So, um, Brendan, who's your winner of the week?
Winner of the week. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd have to go. I'll give respect to my opponent. Me one Puknani. Really, really,
Pugnani.
keeping himself in it, really ruining some other people's weeks. I feel like, I'm gonna have to go with me want the Puknani.
Good for Wanda Puknani. That Josh Jacobs trade helped him a lot.
I don't want, since we're talking about him as the winner of the week, I don't want, because like I was paying hyper attention to his game, and I don't want his moves to be overlooked because he went clutch, man. Like there's no other way to put it. He went clutch this week, and it will 99% sure lock him into a playoff spot. And so he made that trade where he fleeced Tuck.
Yes.
And yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what it was. It was a fleecing. So he made the trade where he fleeced Tucky. Like JB said, he got a whole team for one player. He was dead in the water. I mean, he was dead in the water.
Yes.
That was
He
the
was
case.
gonna lose the league.
He was starting Juan Jennings, who had put up 0 the week before, and 7 this past week. That
What's
was
his name?
Juwan Jennings.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said Juan.
No, Juwan Jennings. And
Okay. Sorry.
he put up 6. I'm sorry, not 0. He put up 6.5 and then 7.1. That's who he had in his lineup. He didn't have Puka. He didn't have Brian Thomas. He had him and he had Debo. He was starting 2 Niners, right? He makes this trade like hours before the deadline. Not even, like an hour before the deadline, if I'm remembering correctly, or a couple hours. And it doesn't just stop there though. He went and he added at the last second on Sunday morning the Jets defense. That was a Sunday morning ad. The Jets defense, which he flipped for the Eagles, which was a 14-point difference. I was monitoring his team up until the 1 o'clock game started. Somewhere between an hour to an hour and a half before the Sunday game started, he flipped Juwan Jennings for Brian Thomas. That is almost a 10-point difference. So he went absolutely clutch. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He was facing potentially hitting the loser's bracket and losing the league, and he made three. He made a clutch trade, a clutch ad, and a clutch tinker to now put himself in playoff position. It's at my expense, and it kills me to say it, especially because I know the joy he has of potentially sending me with that into the losers bracket. But credit where credit's due. I mean, right? Very impressive.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Very impressive. So, I agree with you, Brennan. Winner of the week.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to give my winner of the week to a man that we just shit on for a certain trade, but didn't really affect him too much because he put up 155 points. My dub of the week is post Tuck, T Nug. Tua came through for him. Brock Bowers is a beast. I bet you Loesch really wish he still had Brock Bowers on his squad because yeah, Brock Bowers is going crazy.
Yeah, he is.
And then Posty took my boy James Cook. James Cook put in work. Yeah, shout out Post Tuck and his squad.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. His team did good. I'm gonna not give him too much love like I would normally because he fucked me with that trade. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't even enough for him to beat me the week before last to like decrease my chances. He had to beat me by dropping a league high, and then had to say, "Here, Wardle, take the players I just beat Sean with and use them again to beat him through beating Brennan."
Tuck's an unsung hero of the league right now, honestly.
Well, I get the unsung hero part in the sense that he's sending me to the losers bracket, but is it an unsung hero if he's keeping Wardle from his first losers bracket appearance? Because I was really looking forward to seeing that.
Dude, no, I mean, how do I phrase this? I don't know if I want to see Wardle lose the league necessarily.
Oh.
Can you just imagine how much self-loathing would go on? Like that would be tough to that'd be worse. It might no, it can't be worse than Loesch being such a martyr, dude, and taking that flight. Oh, dude, bless his heart
I
and
know, but he
doing
didn't
the
he
punishment
didn't have
thing.
to, man. He did not have to. He was under no obligation.
No, exactly. So it wouldn't be it wouldn't be half as bad as that, but I just feel like there'd be some self-loathing.
Yeah.
It'd be sad. It'd be sad. Be like, damn, this guy has to deal with this now too. He's already rubbing elbows with fucking elites in his at his job.
Dude, you know what he texted me today?
What?
He keeps telling me he got Jared Goff's phone number.
He probably did.
He's sending me screenshots and he's like, "Hey, bud, my coworker used to work at a Bugatti dealership and worked with Jared Goff, and I have his personal number now." And he sent me a screenshot of Jared Goff's like contact with the number blacked out. And then he said, the number is real. It's Goff's number if he still has that number. And then he said he'd give me the number for a W this week.
Oh,
I know,
okay.
interesting.
That is.
Because I'm, I wouldn't do it, but there's other things I would do for him for a Goff number. And then he sends me another screenshot of him with Jared Goff's number.
Of him with what?
Or I'm sorry, the same screenshot of before just zoomed in of the guy's phone with Jared Goff's number. So
You think that guy's telling the truth though?
I personally doubt it. But
why would you used to work at a Bugatti dealership?
Probably because you got drafted in the NFL.
No, why would you not work at a Bugatti dealership anymore is what I'm saying. The guy with the number.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
His passion is
Why?
cameras, man.
Maybe. Seems fishy to me.
I don't know, Brennan, thoughts? Does he have Goff's number or not?
Goff's number. I have really no insight into the situation at all, but I'm going to say with 100% certainty he does not have Jared Goff's phone number.
Oh, there it is. Dad laid down the law. And I mean, he's Dad, so he pays for our phone plans and can see all of our conversations, so I'm sure he knows.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the internet history on there. Don't go to our plan and look at what I'm searching online, please.
I won't look at that, I know. Contacts only.
Jeez. Well, I spent my time on my winner of the week. I'm doubling down on Wardle with Brennan. So that shifts us to our loser of the week, which Brennan, take it away. Who's your big loser?
Loser of the week. I mean, I feel like it's got to be me. Especially, I feel like you're about to go off right now. I feel like maybe I shouldn't take that away from you. Maybe I need to take a peek, find a different team here. 'Cause I feel like it's about to be the law's about to be laid. I feel like I have to go Captain Dr. Vava. He was at a turning point. Could have really separated himself from the pack. And I mean, he's in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Stats are in his favor, but he's suddenly in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. I'm gonna go Dr. Va.
Yeah, dude, that definitely didn't help him at all.
No.
That fucking. He's leading, which doesn't make sense to me because if you click on standings, he is the top of the West right now, but he has a lower playoff percentage than Pukanani.
I think because
so. I mean, it's gonna take a lot for him to get booted out of the playoffs, but the fact that he's sitting up there with a bye right now, but has a lower percentage of the play, that's strange to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, Jordan, who's your
he probably would have had a little E or clinch next to his name if he would have won.
I think he probably would have, because at that point, I don't think Wardle would have been able to beat him in a tiebreaker because of the head-to-head for the division, because it's a separate head-to-head for the division.
He'd have 8 wins.
Yeah. So that sucks.
Poor Va. Dang Va.
But I'll go ahead and lay down my loser of the week. Rather, it's gonna have to be the only man that I can really punch down onto because he's just scored less than me this week, even though he's beaten me twice this year. It's Chunger Dog. We all know rabbits love fucking, and he did not get to do any Chunger fucking this week. So, you would expect a nice little Chunger fuck with Mike Evans putting up 23 and your kicker getting a nice 15, but no, it wasn't the case. Gonna have to give it to Chunger Dog. Sorry.
Yeah, I was very relieved to not get Chung fucked. Definitely relieved to
That's
not get
where it is. Chung fucked. You're right.
But he had texted me at one point before the Broncos and Will Lutz had played, and he said, imagine if I had started Russ. Turns out it wouldn't have mattered because the Browns threw 2 fucking pick sixes. Did you guys catch any of that game? That Monday game?
I didn't, and I'm kind of pissed because I usually do watch the Monday night games, but I just didn't watch that. I didn't watch this week, and it ended up being a banger.
Brennan, how much football do you get to catch on a weekly basis? Oh,
We still got him in here.
he's still in here. Brennan, are you with us still?
Muted. Now he's unmuted.
Yeah, so I think we can't hear him on his end, but he can probably hear us and is trying to figure it out. If you got to leave and come back, that's okay, man.
But yeah, I heard that game was insane, and just seeing the highlights and shit. I mean,
Yeah,
anytime is in a game, you're guaranteed entertainment at the least.
yeah, dude. I couldn't believe in Reed. Reed actually hit a parlay off that game. He picked the Broncos to cover 5.5, and it like he was stressing big time because it was like $40 for 1,000, and he was like stressing hard because the Browns I guess had it on like the 2 yard line with like something amount of seconds left, and Jameis threw like another pick. And if they had gotten that touchdown, it would have just been like a failed onside, and then the Broncos kneeling it. So he wouldn't have covered, but he ended up covering just barely.
And got $1,000 off a $40 bet.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
yeah, that's definitely his biggest hit, I think ever, in betting. But
Did he call you crying?
I was already asleep. I honestly fell asleep before like there were all these messages in our work chat, and he was like going nuts, going absolutely nuts. All these messages in all caps, and like I had been asleep, and he was monitoring because I needed Cortland Sutton on Brennan's end to get some points, and he was like monitoring Cortland Sutton. So I woke up, it's like Cortland Sutton catch, Cortland Sutton another catch, because he was like all Broncos pretty much. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was just going nuts, and then we kept telling him to cash out, but it was mainly just to piss him off. Like anytime he has a good one going, we just say, "Yo, cash out," and he gets like angry. He's like not a cash out guy. He just kind of lets
Well,
him ride.
now that he's hit that, if you keep saying it's gonna piss him off even more. She's like, I never cash out. You saw what happened.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna keep telling him. Me and Eric both kind of team up on him and tell him to cash out. And
Well, that's kind of fucked up.
well, I mean, also though, it wasn't even both times we really messed with him on it. Like truly, it was times that we would have cashed out. Like his cash out was showing like almost I think just over 600 at the beginning of the game. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm cashing out on that.
Yeah, it's almost the extra 400. Is it really worth it?
Like that's my like that's the ratio that I like kind of measure when I'm looking at it. I'll give you an example. I did like a big ass parlay at the beginning of the year for NFL. Like I did like all the games, and then it was like 10 to win 31,000. And at one point I had made it through the 1 o'clocks, and they were offering me like $400. And well, I ended up cashing this one out because I messaged Kurt and Sal, and they were both like berating me to like so bad to the point where I'm like, all right, fine. Like they do it all the time. Let me just cash out. And thank goodness they convinced me, because this time it worked. But I was not going, like I was not planning on it. Was not planning on cashing out, because like normally I would have wanted to see like if there's a bet for 31,000, I want to get to a point where I'm seeing a couple thousand before I even consider. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so like I'll give
depending on the initial investment.
and I'll give you another example. I was kind of mad. Like I'm mad that I was happy I made the couple hundred off of them convincing me, but I had a 17 leg NBA parlay going just for fun, like $10, and um I had made it through the first night of it, and it was like for like 20 something thousand. I was texting JB about it. He could back up on it. And I didn't tell Kurt and Sal because I knew they would be like cash out, cash out. But it was offered me like 350 at that one point. And I was like, I was pretty confident. And I was like, when I didn't let them like influence me, I was just kind of like, no, like I'm gonna let this ride. Like I like my picks, and 300's not enough to like. What if I get through the next round of games? Like it could be a few thousand, like I just said, and then the Cavs screwed me over. I didn't get anything, but
Yeah.
that's like the ratio I look at. So yeah, like for Reed's bet, if I'm looking at $1,200 and they're cashing me out at 600 at the start of the last leg of the parlay, like yeah, you consider me netting $600 over 40 off of 40. Like I'll take that. You can't
Yeah,
really
I
be
agree.
mad because
I
like
agree.
what you would have gotten is not going to be that much bigger, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. If I see a big enough cash out, I do tend to cash out.
but yeah. So, anyways,
You guys hear me?
oh, you're back. Nice.
All right, good. It works. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
The
What was the
game was
question I
insane, though. I
asked
did
him?
watch that Monday.
Oh yeah, how much football do you get to watch? Like on your schedule?
It's been better now. Like a couple of months ago, it wasn't as good, but more recently, I'm like my rotations are pretty chill that I'm on. They're all elective, so they're not. I'm not super concerned about them. But I've been able to watch a lot of football, which has been nice.
This isn't fantasy talk, but how excited are you for the 12 team playoff college
I'm
ball?
excited. I just think that the kind of a lot of the SEC bias is, going to show through a little more.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
There
and the
seems to
Notre
be a
Dame
big trend.
bias.
Ooh.
Notre Dame bias. Oh,
I just think it's interesting that you can get ranked number 4 and lose at home to NIU, you know?
Ooh.
yeah.
I mean, I
No, I,
know that it's all about what's happening right now, but I don't know.
I agree with that. Um, I think four is a little high. I do feel, and I'm biased. I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I do feel like they should make the playoff. But yeah, I feel like four is high.
Yeah, and I think losing at home to Michigan, I think should drop you more than what it dropped Ohio State.
Oh, 100%.
I know it's a
100%.
close game and
And
it's rivalry weekend, but I think that game that should put them out of the playoff, that loss.
well, and what it
That'd
does
be
is
a bold.
it effectively gives them a bye week because they're going to get in and they just get to sit out championship week,
Yeah, exactly.
which is crazy. But yeah, I guess they won't get the home game, but still,
Yeah, and
they
I think South
get
Carolina deserves a shot over Miami, and I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just no one's ever going to be happy. You're just going to keep
No,
expanding the
you're right.
playoff.
And honestly, that's kind of what makes it fun because there's going to be the outrage and shit where like you really don't know. You kind of know who's going to get in, but there could be some shit that goes down.
Yeah, yeah. I just no one's ever going to be happy, and just the structure of, especially with all the realignment and stuff that they're going to give. Look at the SEC and be like, wow, well, a 3-loss SEC team's a high quality team, but then you're going to leave out teams from other conferences. It's just interesting, because like, are they really? Is the
Yeah.
SEC really more competitive, or is it just the preseason rankings making it look more competitive?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's
It's
they
interesting.
yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe it transitions into something where there's a lot more interconference games to
Yeah,
determine
and it
actually which
needs to be that
conferences.
way.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, sorry,
Exciting stuff, though.
it is. Sorry to derail the fantasy talk.
No, it's okay. I think Ted's probably the only one that's really pissed off. Um, and we've been derailing it with degenerate talk anyway. So we'll get back on to the point where we were at, which is me basically going after my loser of the week, which Brennan was right, and me picking out who I was planning on naming. And well, Brennan, you're back just in time because it's you. It's you. Um, and your team played great. It wasn't even that. I just you couldn't pull. Listen. First and foremost, anytime I complain about during this pod about any reason that I'm losing, it always comes back to my team not being good enough and a couple of the moves that I missed earlier in the season to win games. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is. But I'm still gonna complain, and I'm gonna complain that your ass couldn't come through for me. If you just start Brian Robinson Jr. over Tyreek, uh, we're looking at a whole different situation. Even if you start him over Jonathan Taylor, whole different situation. Even if you start the Bills defense over the Chiefs, which I wouldn't have blamed you for that one, but who would have imagined that would happen? And I think that's pretty much all I complain about in terms of bench. But it was huge. How in the world do you have an MVP, potential MVP on your team, and you're taking 58-point L's, running backs getting 58, and you're taking L's, and then he's giving you so much, and he might even be in the number one running back, and then potentially in the losers bracket, number two quarterback, right? JT's had some injuries, so that's kept him out. Cortland Sutton is top 7. Jackson Smith and Jigba's top 10. Tyreek's had a rough season. Chris Boswell is kicker number 1. You've got talent elsewhere. Brian Robinson Jr., who sat. Well, his dealt with injuries too. That puts him in 25. But
that was where my thought was. It's hard to
yeah.
bench the person that I flagged as my number one pick too. Like that's the thing that I really probably should have just traded Tyreek away early in the season and just not even thought about it again. Because I really think that that's been a lot of my thought process, and a lot of my losses have been staying true and being like, well, I got to start Tyreek. Got to start Tyreek. Like he's creeped up a little bit, but it's been a frustrating season with
Interesting
him.
to know that that's been on your mind, like the starting Tyreek when he's been playing bad. Because right.
I feel that 100% though.
No, I don't even 100% agree with you. I mean, I lost a game this year because in the beginning I said I'm starting DK over JMO. I don't care. And then it bit me in the butt. But yeah, I hear you. I agree. But yeah, I mean, because right now, and this isn't even. I mean, this complaint isn't even just for me. I mean, I'm doing my own venting, but like you and I are the two teams on the top of the losers bracket, Brennan. Like we're not in the playoff spots. So this was just in general, me aside and my own complaints, this was a big L for you to take by 2 points.
Being frustrating.
Yeah. Well, why don't we move off of our winners and losers and take a look at what we think are the matchups of the week in this last week before the playoffs. So, Brennan, who do you got?
The way things are gonna go, I really think that post Tuck and follow Spike. I feel like this is an important matchup, not only for me, but a lot can happen. I've still got a 40% shot of making the playoffs. I need a lot of things to happen to make that happen. Big fan of Jay Dry. I'm a big fan of you. I need a lot of things to happen, but I'm going with my matchup this week.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, I'll
Respect.
do what I can for you. I'll definitely do what I can. Vava's the only person I beat the only, I forget who the other one, Loesch. Vava and Loesch are the only two people I've beat. So I hope I can take down the captain, the doctor, just for you, Dad. Then I'll bring you a trophy and say, "You proud of me?" And you'll say, "You're in the losers bracket, son. Get the fuck out of my house."
Well, listen. Oh, Jordan, who do you have as your? You can go ahead and go next. Who do you have as your matchup of the week? Which one are you looking at?
My matchup of the week. Honestly, I like your matchup with me want to pook Nani. You see, there's this thing I do, and I do it every week. I pick my matchup of the week based off of sexual tension.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like you and Wardle, anytime you're around each other, there's a lot of energy there. It gets weird at points. Definitely gets weird.
Sure.
But the energy's there, and that's why I'm gonna pick y'all to be my matchup of the week.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is big. Listen, there's a reason that I don't have an E next to my name. I'm going to tell you all why that is right now.
Here we go.
I need Va to beat up on your ass to get him to 8 wins.
Voss, sit your team.
I need Tuck to beat up on Follow Spike. Sorry, Brennan. Losers bracket this year has to happen for you if it doesn't happen for me. Because then that will create that what comes out of that is every team being above 7 wins, Follow Spike being at 6 with JB and Jordan. And then if I beat Wardle, we're the only 2 teams left at 7 and 7, but it doesn't just end there. What would happen with us as the only 2 teams at 7 and 7 is that it would go to our head-to-head, which would be split. So then it would go to points 4. When it goes to points 4, Wardle has 102 points for more than me. So I have to beat Wardle this week. On top of that, I have to beat him like 170 to like 67. And if I do that, if his team completely craps the bed and he puts up like low 60s and my team goes off for like, if he puts up low 60s like 63-4 and I go off for like 167, 168, and then the other 2 things I mentioned happen, Wardle's in the losers bracket in the last spot. And I'm in.
I mean, I heard he was resting his team this week.
Dude, if he actually rested his team, that'd be crazy. Imagine if he rested his entire team just to make a point and I got to like 99 points with my squad and he still got in. That'd be nuts. That's honestly almost just as realistic as the other scenario with my team. So yeah, that's how I get in. So
come on down to the mud, brother.
That's how I get in.
Nice.
And you know what? I'm planning on it. Because if I get in that way, if that actually happens, that would probably be the most insane muddiness at the end of a regular season in our league that we've ever seen. So
happens, I'm putting my word in for a recall election of our league commissioner. I'm taking him down. Shenanigans happened. It's a conspiracy.
If that happens, just don't pay attention to the recent activity in the league, because there might be some numbers manipulation notifications sitting in there. But yeah, that's what I need, and yet that matchup was taken from me to mention, so I'm gonna go to a different matchup of the week, and I am going to. You know what?
Hold on, you just spent all that time and it's not your matchup of the week?
No, but I'm gonna make my other one. I'm gonna make my actual matchup like very brief.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, I think, our only Roomy Bowl this week. Chunger Dog versus Kingslayer. Anytime there's a chance for someone to get chung fucked, that's a matchup I'm paying attention to. So
Fair.
Kingslayer, and you think, yeah, listen, their records are flipped, but I know Ted's scared. So, and Ted's still fighting. Ted's still fighting for the division. So it's not like the game doesn't matter. He could get chung fucked out of a bye week.
He could. He very well could.
Oh, actually, Matt has the bye week. Never mind. Correction. So, Matt would have to lose, but I mean that still doesn't change. If he loses, he has no shot at the bye week. So, he could get chung fucked out of a potential bye week. And I'm very interested to see if that happens because he's starting Caleb Williams in place of Jaden Daniels on the bye. Russell Wilson looks like he's in the lineup for JV, and so from there you got the rest of their squad, and I'm interested to see that deep fried meme continue to get deep fried if he beats another person.
Well, dude, and not only that, but you can just like the amount of hatred in this matchup too.
Oh,
just
dude,
these two guys do not fuck with one another.
No, they never have. Ever since we all kind of like met each other.
It started with Ted getting his video games pissed on.
Yes. You know,
I don't know. I don't know that story well enough. I don't know if it was Ted's video games or JB's video games that were pissed on, but Ted
I
was never the
guess
same after seeing that.
I guess if I'm wrong, I don't know it as well as I thought I did, but I thought it was JB pissing on Ted's video games. And you know that Ted to this day has a level of resent, even if it's been buried, that still exists for that because you know Ted, uh, you know how like he would care, but like fucking I don't know
Oh,
what games he
he
had,
holds
but
grudges,
he
and
holds.
he's like an elephant. He never forgets.
I thought it was because he had a big
Well,
no,
he's got a trunk on him too, but that's not the point I was getting to.
that's fair. Um, yeah, well, that's my matchup. I'll be paying attention,
Nice.
and that leads us to talking about the waivers because there was some snipey snipe action that we witnessed. And actually, you know what? Very glad. Well, we'll talk more about it in a second, but very glad Brennan's on this pod because this is the most waiver action I've ever seen from him on this Wednesday. And we will at least the most money ever spent by him, but we'll get there. So let's go on to this this segment and start on November 28th. So on November 28th, Thursday, Matt adds the Colts defense for $1. Jordan adds Devin Singletary for $1. Chunger Dog snipes Tuck for CJ Stroud off of waiver order, which we're going to see a little bit of now because of the amount of people at $0. Tuck gets Noah Gray for $0. Wardle adds John Parker Romo for $0 and does not get Nick Folk because he added John Parker Romo. You move on to Friday.
Any relation there to Tony? Did we ever clear that up?
Never got cleared up.
So it still could be a yes.
Well,
I don't think we need to look it up. But
okay, we can just leave it then.
yeah, it's a yes. We
yeah,
already know.
Okay, fair. On to Friday. Babylon is Falling adds Kyle Pitts for $0 and drops Will Dissly. And Tuck adds Kirk Cousins.
I want to state on the record that Kyle is Pitts. That dude is trash.
You dropped him, right?
This week.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So Dad has an ad on Saturday, November 30th, of Sean Tucker for $0. What was the thought behind that, Dad?
Look ahead to my week 14. I have so many people on week 14 buys. So it was just a matter of picking up a running back. The Bucks play Vegas this upcoming week, and he tends to score on weeks where, you know, he gets in when we're playing not so good teams. So that's kind of what my thought process was initially with picking up Sean Tucker there.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, you have him starting now then, or is he on your bench? Oh, he's on your bench, right? Because of a move that you made that we'll talk about, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Babylon is Falling also added the Saints defense, and then didn't get Ray Davis because the maximum roster size have been exceeded. So you tried, credit to you, you tried to get this man a home.
Tried to.
But did you really? Because did you really not think that you were going to get the Saints on a Saturday?
No, I must have been high or something for not clearing up a spot. Oh no, what it was I don't think J.K. Dobbins had been confirmed to the IR yet, so I couldn't put him in my IR slot. Something like that happened.
You should probably just drop
Right.
him.
Who?
JK, he's done for the season.
Okay, but he's a keeper.
Hey,
He was like a
we don't have to say that.
10 or 11 pick.
I was thinking of drafting him next year, though.
Oh, but you wished for his injury this year.
I did not. I don't know where that's coming from.
You said I'm looking towards the day when JK gets hurt again because he always does. He's injury prone, which isn't a thing, by the way.
Did
That's
not
not
say
a
I was
thing.
looking towards the day. Yes, it is. It is a thing, and we have a doctor in here to verify it's a thing. Because how could it not be a
Not
thing if he's injured again?
statistically,
He's injured again.
there are no stats that back up a player being more prone to injury than not.
Okay, Dad.
I mean, specific stats related. I feel like, yeah, sure, running back definitely more likely, but I don't
But
know.
a specific player, like take all the running backs, is running back A more injury prone than running back B? Like, is that a thing? I say no.
I think just I feel like the only thing that I would if I was like a team doc and I was looking at their history to decide to draft, I definitely injury history would probably be my only thing.
And why would it be your
I'd probably look
why
at
would it
what
be
they
something that you
physically
looked
look
at?
like too. I mean, if they've had a history of injuries, I feel like you got to be more likely to get injured again.
There we go.
You can look at the stats. That's not a thing.
It's a thing. Well, either way, have fun with that keeper of J.K. Dobbins, because I'm totally not jealous, and that's where all this is coming from. So on to Sunday, I added Marquez Valdez Scant for $0, and this is where it gets bad. Me want de Pugnani added the Jets defense, although that was not his team name. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Credit to him for changing his team name. He actually texted me hoping it wasn't too late to make it. He made that team name change as his team was, kind of losing to Dad. He made that team name change, and then Lamar went on a 10-point garbage time run that didn't even matter, where he threw a touchdown to Isaiah Likely, and it didn't matter because the game was already out of reach. Like, he threw it with almost no time on the clock. Not even enough time to make another play if you get the onside kick. Like, done.
The name change saved the day.
I think it might have. It was another clutch move in his series of clutch moves. Because he didn't only have a name change, but he went in and made the edit too. All in that time. So, series of clutch moves. And it's one of the main ones was that ad of the Jets D Sunday morning. Did not get the Seahawks D or the Cardinals D because he got the Jets D. So he was planning on any one of them over who he had, which was the Niners. And Seahawks would have gotten him the win. Cardinals would have gotten him the win. So either way, he was going to be adding a defense that was going to get him the win, one way or another. And now we come to Wednesday, where Dad sniped like 6 other people. So, Isaac Gorendo? Is that how you pronounce his name?
There you go. Hey,
Da-
hey, good job, dude.
Can I get claps? Can you give me claps for it?
Yeah, I'll clap something for you.
Oh,
Hold on, let me
oh,
pull this up.
thanks, Dad. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Um.
And I'm gonna win the league.
Ooh. Well, probably not this year with that team. Anyway, uh, we have Dad drop what I believe is the biggest amount we've ever seen him drop on a player. $67. Oh, and you dropped Sean Tucker in that process. You didn't even have him. $67 for Isaac Gorendo. What was the thought process on the 67?
I pulled up the list of who had the most money, and unsurprisingly, I had the most money, and I bid $1 more than the person that had the second most money, which was $66, which I think was Matt.
Great move. Great
Great
move.
move. Great move. That move deserves its own.
It's the last week of the season. I never spend all my money. I'm going for it.
Fair, and you have a
One last
starting running
push.
back for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's the rest of the season for fantasy. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, well worth it. Smart move. Having the most money paid off, and you sniped like 6 people. Kingslayer put up 35, and then everybody else put up 0. JB, Tuck, and then both of us co-hosts. Oh, and another one, Puknani, put up 0. So yeah, nobody ended up with them except you with that 67. Smart play, good move. Props to you. I hope you still lose this week.
The Lions as a whole are just a good unit.
I actually agree. What's crazy is I'm so not used to that one that I thought Matt had crashed the pod for about half a second. Anyway, speaking of Matt, the Chargers defense was added by Matt for $10, who he sniped 2 people to get the Chargers defense. Our league has been on it.
And I'm gonna win the
with
league.
waivers. Our league has been on it with the waivers and the snipes. So he sniped JB and Jordan to get the Chargers defense. Jordan, how you feeling about that snipe?
I don't like it. Does anyone ever like getting sniped? The Chargers are actually have the best scoring in the league, meaning they allow the least amount of points. So that's why I wanted them, and I was pissed that I didn't get them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Matt also sniped a couple more people, a couple different people. Matt sniped a total of like 4 people through the 2 ads because he added Jameis Winston for $7. Tuck.
Jabu wins.
Yeah, and he's still gonna sit him over Kyler. And Tuck got $0 and Puknani for $0 did not get him. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So next is a Voss snipe of Tuck. Tuck is right. He got sniped a lot. Nick Westbrook Ikine.
Ikine.
Nah, that's not it.
Watch ball for once in your life. Okay, can you do that?
That's not it. You watch Tennessee games? That's cool, bro. That's definitely watching ball, bro. Enjoy those
No, but
Tennessee games,
I
bro.
actually do because I got Tony Pollard. But you watch other games and they come in and they're like Nick Westbrook Ikine with an 80-yard touchdown. Oh my god!
I don't see that during the Lions games, but there wasn't a Lions game this week, so
The Lions also, I mean, they're just a bad team.
are you sure that's how you feel?
The Lions as a whole are just a good unit.
Do you know how much that bothers him, by the way?
That
Like,
you have
genuinely
that.
does? Yeah.
Why would it bother him? He said it.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it is what it is.
He needs some self-love.
Yeah, he does. Well, really, if he
I think
learns
it's
to love
funny.
himself. Go ahead, Brennan.
I was gonna say, whenever on my end, at least, if I clicked on the soundbite thing, I hear nothing. So I have no idea what plays when we
Oh,
click
dude, for
those.
me, it's the lowest volume sound of all time. Like
Really?
I barely hear it
Oh, when I play it?
when anyone
That's
plays it. If
funny.
I play it, if Brennan plays it, if you play it, yeah.
Interesting, because when it gets played on my end, I hear it really loud.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Probably some setting I got.
Yeah, because my soundboard
Yeah, that's
volume
what
itself
maybe
is
that's what I have too.
pretty high. It's like as high as it can go. So I don't know. Well, back to the
Yeah,
snipes. Snipey
mine's
snipes.
100%.
Nick Folk. We have a Loesch snipe for $3. Added Nick Folk sniping post tuck and not sniping me. Hear that, Jordan? I was not sniped in this process. You want to know why I wasn't sniped? Because I had the Gug as my first claim. And the only reason this is above my Gug ad is because there was money involved, which is how the waivers work. So sweet that he can't refute any of these.
Sure thing, brother.
Oh,
Sure
there he
thing.
is. The
I didn't want
Gug
y'all
was
to
my
hear me.
claim. The Gug was my first claim.
I'm sure it was.
Hold on, were you in the bathroom?
Yeah, that's why I was muted. I was taking a piss.
Hold on, why didn't you not give the league the pleasure of getting to listen to that?
Cause it's weak. I haven't been doing my Kegels. It's not on point.
Jeez. Alright. Anyway.
It just sounded sad. You could like hear it dribbling off my nuts. It was bad.
Alright, so next. Kingslayer adds Caleb Williams sniping one person. I was not sniped in this process because I had already added Guggen. He was the only person I had roster space for. So
Nope, you were sniped.
Caleb Williams I'm serious. I wasn't sniped. I was not sniped.
Hey, let's go
Dude.
back to last week
Dude.
when you said Caleb Williams fucking sucks. He shouldn't be on an NFL field. I would never add a bear.
The Bears suck. I didn't say that. I did not say that. That's not a real quote. Go find it. Go clip it. Hey, if that's real, hey pal, that's real. Go clip it, please, and then come back.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay.
Fucking wait.
That's great. I can't wait either. So I had 4 ads, but I had 1 roster spot, and none of the ads were to drop anybody. So that means if I get my first ad, all the other ones aren't going through regardless, and my top waiver was Gug.
Yeah, totally.
So I did not get sniped. But Wardle did. And then JB added the Cardinals defense.
So your
Tuck-
top ad was not Isaac Garendo?
No, that was my snipe. It was Isaac. Yep.
Oh, so now you're lying to us because you just said your top was Gug. So like, how do we know when you start lying, when you stop lying?
No,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
because Isaac Garendo was he was because I put him at top of the off chance that no one else would bid on him. But Gug was second because I needed a kicker.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the lies start and stop. That's all.
I guess it's hard. But Gug was my second. So Tuck adds the 49ers defense. You add Blake Corum. What a sad ad. I add the Gug. It's just, yeah, I mean, dude, like, that's sorry. What are you doing?
I just watched one of my favorite players get hurt and
Is it because he
traded away
looks like you?
my other favorite player.
Is it because he looks
So
like you?
if Kyron gets hurt, I need the next in line, and I don't have the money to fight for him.
But is it also because he looks like you if you had your long hair?
I mean, if I look like that, I'm fucking sexy, dude.
I mean, that's
I'm
kind of what I was
fucking.
indirectly saying. But anyway.
I don't think, and I could be wrong. You know, we all look at ourselves differently. I don't think he looks like me. What I do think is that he is the guaranteed starter in that backfield should Kyron get hurt, which I pray he doesn't. But having dealt with injury now, I just want to be sure that I have at least somebody that gets a lion's share of the carries.
Sure. Well, off of that, I added Gug, and I just wanted to show everybody Gug, just to take a look at him, right? So everyone, if everyone's like on the YouTube link, just take a look at your screens real quick to see Gug. And he's gonna give Wardle like 25 points this week. So Wardle, take a look at that face, because that face is giving you like 25 points on my pathway to 170. So
When you
enjoy
say
that.
he's giving Wardle 7 or 25 points, to me that sounds like he's scoring you negative 25 and basically giving those points to Wardle. You know what I'm saying?
I get where you're coming from, just not what I meant. So, we don't have to play
You
this
meant
whole
like he's
semantics
gonna
game.
drop 25 on Wardle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, maybe this isn't a phrase in basketball. Maybe I'm just a loser. Well, regardless, but in this context too, like if you're playing basketball, can't you say like, oh, I'm gonna give you like I'd give you 50, I get that I'll drop this on you too, makes sense, but I'll give you 50 points, whatever.
I'm not the guy to ask. I don't play basketball.
Okay, well, chat, let me know if I'm just clowning myself in this specific scenario. Let me know if that's a phrase or not.
Although honestly, it could be because you're around all the hip young kids nowadays. I'm not with the lingo.
Fair. Well, let's get with someone who is hip and young, and that's Tank Bigsby, because he just got added by Wardle. Wardle actually he has a prediction for Tank stats this week. You want to hear him?
Can I guess?
Sure.
253 yards, 6 touchdowns.
200 how many yards?
53.
And 6 touchdowns. All right, Brendan, what do you think Wardle thinks Tank is putting up this week?
Thinks he's going for 1 touchdown, 86 yards.
Okay. So Wardle says Tank Bigsby is putting up Tank numbers: 6 rushing touchdowns, 4 throwing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown to
my.
himself.
Listen, only Josh Allen can throw and receive a touchdown on the same play.
Yeah, right. Right. That's just crazy. Well, Tank was added. And then Follow Spike has another ad on the day. He added the Muth. So the Muth,
You're gonna let the Muth
the
loose?
Muth is going to be Luth in your lineup. How does that make you
He's
Wow.
loose. I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be a big week for the Muth.
He is. I mean, he's a fellow with moxie, that's for sure.
Dude,
He's pretty hot and cold. I have had quite a rough year with tight ends, so
Tell me about it.
hoping for the best this week.
Well, let him Luth. See what happens. He was Luth on the waivers for too long.
He was.
Yeah. Well, finish off the waivers. Seahawks defense was not added by JB. Alexander Madison was not added by Wardle. And Wardle added his quarterback for the week, Will Levis, for $0. All right. And I think that leads us to Jordan and his Pocket Watch segment. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to be good.
Okay, so Pocket Watch. We're taking a look at these folk in here as I navigate to it. So at the top, a man who is all about his yen, Mr. Minority Moment.
The
$50
Lions
still in his
as a whole
pockets.
are just a good unit.
Double XP weekend. He's got a big face Buddha who gets his piece from within. He's got $49. Next up is Kingslayer. Kingslayer still got 35 in his pocket. Follow Spike, who led this segment for many weeks, is now getting towards the bottom. He's got $11. And then the rest of the league, them boys broke.
And I'm going to win the league.
And that wraps that up.
Nice. Well done. Yeah, a lot of broke boys in the end. But the fact that we have someone over 50 still is crazy. The fact that it's Loesch doesn't surprise me. Or someone at 50 or over. Doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me. So, well, that leads us, unfortunately, close to the end. But before we get there, I've got to ask you, Brennan, it's been a while. I'm sure you've had your fair share of shakaroni since the last time you've been on the pod, since I know that's what we eat, at least on a weekly basis. Because, due to our sponsor. So what do you have right now that's tearing you up like a shakaroni in terms of football?
Me up right now, besides the 12-team playoff in college football, I don't know. I just think that this whole season's really tearing me up.
Mm.
You got to put me on a watch list or something with how it's gone just week after week. I drafted this team very similarly to two other leagues that I'm in. And one of the leagues I'm 11-2, and the other one I'm 9-4.
Ooh.
I just,
Wow.
I don't know what's happening. Very frustrating.
That is rough. Wow. So you actually have something to compare it to, too.
Yeah, it's just week after week, losing it.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because I did as well draft similarly in different leagues, and I am much better in those leagues than I am in this league. Like playoff bound.
It takes me all back. It's the commissioner, There's only one thing that's different about this
Here we
league.
go. Yeah. Okay.
You are fucking right.
I expected this shit from like a, I don't know, like a Ted or a Matt. Not a dad. It's okay. It's fine.
Nah, you do a wonderful job for this league, sir.
No, don't give me love now.
But if your 8% comes true, If your 8% comes true, I'm losing it for real.
Dude, I'm just gonna go. Listen, that is tearing me up. The fact that I'm you know what's tearing me up the most though? I'll just go into it. The thing that tore me up the most. You know how earlier in the year I was getting kind of pissy because I was talking about how I kept watching ridiculous things happen when I lose, like the DK almost touchdown and the Khalil Shakir almost touchdown. First of all, hold on. Am I allowed to have two things tearing me up?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Can I
You
just
ate,
mention that it's
you
tearing
ate
me up
two
that
slices of you ate 2 slices of shakaroni.
and can I mention that it's tearing me up that football season's already gone by so fast?
That is tragic.
Like thinking about that Khalil Shakir shit and the DK shit, like that was like week 3, dude. We're
Years flown by.
like flown by.
When your real life team is good, the seasons go by a lot quicker.
It's actually true. It's true, man. I also noticed that when your real life team is good, um, it heightens all the other like crap going on that's not like in terms of like fantasy and maybe college football. Like USF's been like a little, they've been all right, but like a little bit disappointing. And like especially fantasy though, it's like I'm not worrying about the Lions. I'm just enjoying them. So like now I like hyper focus on the fantasy crap because it's the only
You
thing
should
going
be
on.
worried about them in a couple weeks, son.
No, I won't be. Nope. I'm not worried about them for tomorrow either. I
Them
love
boys from Velo
God. Oh,
coming in.
this is actually nuts. You're not gonna believe this, but I ate 3 pieces of shakaroni because I have a third thing tearing me up before I even get back to
Wow.
the first thing, and it's that I love how. Remember, I complained about this how the NFL was like hyping up Lions Packers early in the year in Green Bay, where it's like, oh, like let's find out what they're made of, and they're like all week like whatever excuse they can to like, and to make this sound like it's going to be a game, and we go beat the shit out of the Packers and silence everything. And now it's like as soon as the game ended on Thursday, it was like the Green Bay game. It's like now they head to Detroit, who they might be catching them at a good time. Their injuries are piling up. No, like, and now they're spending all week. Like I'm seeing little videos where it's like Lions offense potentially just like Packers offense just potentially as good as the Lions offense, and like all this but like just they just never stop with the Green Bay. They never stop. So we just have to beat the shit out of them again on tomorrow, just to get them to shut up once and for all. So for this season, it's also tearing me up. Um, but anyway, um, my original tearing me up is, and this one's tearing me up more than any of that stuff. It was so like talking about earlier, talking about watching DK miss a touchdown and Khalil Shakir when I'm losing by barely a couple points, which ended up mattering, of course. Um,
Always does.
always does. And like I didn't watch like I watched some football on Sunday. Like I tuned in. Ted put me on the Stream East Life to stream some games, and so I
Hey, before you continue, I just want you to know, we all know you don't watch ball on Sundays. We all know. But go ahead.
I watch ball every Sunday. First of all. Bad. I was put on the Stream East Light so I could stop paying $100 for Hulu Live, where I only get so many games anyway to choose from.
I'm shocked you hadn't like. I feel like we have taught in our circle. Stream East has been a thing forever.
It has. I just didn't know I could do it on my Xbox until Ted showed
Oh,
me on the big screen. So I just dealt with whatever because I wanted to watch them on like my TV. So
Ted showed you the internet browser on Xbox.
yeah.
How much prawn has just been tossed up on that TV now?
Oh, dude, you don't even want to. I listen. Anyway, so I was watching ball and I threw up. I did throw up, to be fair though, for this Ravens Eagles game. I threw it up on. I do have Paramount, and so you get CBS Live with that. So any CBS football game you get to watch. And Paramount's only like $12 a month. Um so I threw it up on the CBS, and I'm watching this game. I was probably like, I paid attention a little bit to the Bengals game, Steelers game, and another one, and then I put on the Ravens game, and I watched as Saquon Barkley scored that touchdown for Dad, and I was going nuts. And then I
Mhm.
watched as they got the ball back and drove it down to almost no time. And then I watched the Ravens get the ball with about a minute. And I watched Lamar get 11 points in 60 seconds on a drive that did not matter. Because by the time it was over, there wasn't even enough time to have like another snap. Maybe one snap. Like that was the whole. I mean, that was, should my 8% not come to fruition, like I basically had just watched my whole season crumble in front of me live again for one of the few bits that I had watched live that day. And it was just I could not believe it. I actually couldn't believe that I was watching that happen. Just BS garbage time. And because the part of it was he also had like a 40-yard run on the last play and threw a touchdown. And it's like, okay, like whatever. It's just that's been this season. So tore me up to watch that. But anyway.
Yeah, man, I feel like that would tear up pretty much everybody if they witnessed that and were aware of what was happening in that moment. I can say I haven't really. My season crumbled week 5 pretty much. So I do wish I could have had one of those situations this year. If I'm gonna be in the losers bracket, I wish I could have had a little hope. So I guess that's what's tearing me up. Just this season. Just this season, man.
That's fair.
That's about it. Just a shitty season for me, and I hope I can jump into this losers bracket and fucking not have to actually lose, because I do not want to lose the fucking league. That's for sure.
No. No, not at all. Um, well, I mean, Brennan, because of course we'll ask every time. Do you have any icy hot takes by chance for the league?
AC hot take. I think in the end, everything's going to work out perfectly for me. I think I'm going to beat Tuck. I need Pugnani to win. I need Jay Dry. Everything's going to just be perfect. That's my icy hot take.
Hey,
It's
I
not going to
would
happen,
I
but
would
it's
be
going to
very
happen.
happy if I could get a meaningless dub over Va.
I know, and it's not even meaningless because of the beef between you and Va.
Oh, exactly. Like this is exactly.
And like you would actually be potentially fucking him over. There's like there's a chance that at least you play a role in something that happens that sends Va to the losers bracket.
Well, I mean that I don't see that. Yes, I guess yes, technically yes, but that's not why I want to beat Va. I just want to beat Va because there's the beef there. There's some beef, fantasy beef that I would like to say started. Let's not get that mistaken. He got it. He started it, but there is beef there.
For sure. For sure. Um all right. Well, boys, we are actually at the conclusion of the pod, so as we know, um Brennan, do you have any final words for the league?
An interesting discussion with a prior member of the league, and he asked that I put out in the pod this week justice for Uncle B's burritos.
Oh,
Oh, that I mean, maybe justice needs to be done.
maybe justice does need to be
4
done.
years of frustration for this poor young man. He feels that he was wrongfully exited from the group. He felt that he finished in the top 4 that year, and you know he was thrust out of the group because of Flowey leaving, and he just wanted to express his sincerest frustrations with the community.
And I
Oh,
think there's rightful frustrations there. I agree because he was a valuable member and he did just end up on the outside because I mean, can you do like odd numbered leagues?
Yeah, I don't think that we maybe took the effort in figuring it out.
No, I don't think we did.
So I think the criticism is warranted. And I think it would have to, I mean, I don't think I know it would have to go to a league vote, but let's just put something, let me put something out in the air that I'm not saying it would happen, but that might, make a couple members mad that I even say it, who knows, but you know what? We're the press has got to do their job. Jordan, are you opposed in a world where we figure out if we can do an odd number league by extending the olive branch to Brian to get him back?
No, not at all. If he would want to come back, 100%. If we can do odd and he wants to come back, I don't have an issue with it.
I actually don't either. He was a valuable. I mean, we removed him because we thought we didn't have another option.
Yeah,
I'll
I
drop
agree.
it by him. I have a soccer game with him tonight. I'll ask him if if the olive branch is extended. Is this something he's wishing to pursue going forward? And I think it'll make for some interesting, off-season banter.
I agree.
I think so. I think so
I
too.
agree. We have a commish election because we're at the 4-year mark of the last one, where I tried to vote myself out and got forced back in. So we have a commish election this off season. We have a potential 11th man ad. Um, could be interesting. Second year of keepers. Okay. Well, only real ones listen this far to the pod anyway, so we'll get the real takes. Um,
Yeah,
if
we'll see
those
who's
actually listen.
listening.
But all right. Well, in that case, thank you for bringing that up with your words. Do you got anything else, or was that it?
Yeah. No, I think this last week is going to be chaotic, and but I think it's the ultimate test of Harambe's will, and let Harambe's will be done. It's totally out of our hands.
It is completely out of our hands. Jordan, what do you got to say to the league?
Um, good luck to everyone this week, and justice for Harambe, justice for Uncle B? Question mark.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Um, I guess this is going to be an interesting conversation with the league. Uh, yeah, very interested to see how it goes down. Um, but yeah, as we know, as we do, we do it for Harambe. Dick's out for Harambe, Harambe for president, and of course, as always, R.I.P. Harambe.